So that is awesome news. That's why I'm here. That's what I wanted to see. This is working. Okay, got one. Okay. Like I said, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. We're seeing honey. We're seeing the population boom. We are just seeing a lot of good signs right now. Very exciting to get to see that. Oh, and the queen is on it right there on the bottom. I told you the queens love fresh wax. Did you see her? So coming up, probably in another month, we are going to have a, we should have a harvest video.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella shit.
Hi everybody, it's Brent with Beekeeping in Paradise. This is just a short little clip to check up on this queenless hive and to show you what happened after I did my graft about 2 weeks ago. All right, let's take a peek inside. Now you remember I put the queen graft in the center frame, on the frame in the center, and that's weird. Okay. So you can see here that there's this little waxy nugget here, and that's what a queen cell looks like. Now I went through this yesterday, and you see these cups here are empty. This is just a little bit of wax comb that they decided to build, wild comb. This was my queen graft, and I just tore it open. She should have come out, but she did not. She didn't make it. So it started as a queen cell, and they fed it real well, and she just didn't make it. So we're gonna have to do it again. So that's a bit of bad luck. I thought I was getting one, but that's all dried up. One more. Now this is just a little bit of ridiculousness. Okay, this can actually stay on here, and what I'm gonna take this bar off. I wasn't expecting this. I thought that I had a hatched queen. I saw it torn open, and I thought that she was in there good and that she was healthy, but apparently I was wrong. So this is what we need for the grafting. This is the Chinese grafting tool. I showed this quickly the last time. Now this is just a scoop on the end, and probably see it better there. You see that's just a little plastic scoop, and this is a little plunger. All that plunger does is it pushes the larva. Once I scoop the larva out of a cell, that is just going to push it and deposit it inside one of those cups down there. So what I use is I've got these magnifying glasses. I got these, I think I got these on Amazon back in the US. Either that or I bought them at Harbor Freight. They're made in China, but they've got lights that have no batteries in them right now, and they're pretty cool because they have flip down magnification. There's your basic magnification here. Then I think that's like a 3 times zoom or a 5 times zoom, and then you just flip this down and it becomes a 10 times zoom, And then over on this side, it's got a rotating little reticle that you can really zoom in if you're looking through there. So that, you know, whoa, look how big that is. Okay, so, but you have to close one eye when you're using the jeweler's glass. But I like to use it with both. So I just pop that on my head, and then I need a flashlight to look down in there. I used my phone last time. That didn't work out very well. I'm gonna go get a flashlight. Okay, now I think we're gonna find our youngest larva in the bottom box. Okay, now it seems like this video is a redo, which it is. 100% this is a redo. Wasn't anything I think that I did wrong, but that last queen just did not take. Whether they failed to feed her adequately or there was a problem with her development, it's hard to say, but they did turn it into a queen cell. The 1 out of 4 that I grafted, they turned 1 into a queen cell, and everything looked like it was going about okay. And I counted the days, and it's 16 days. 16 days is the incubation period to make a queen. But the hard part here is I have a lack of drones. And if I successfully get a queen developed and hatched and emerged, then when she flies away to mate, because she doesn't mate inside the hive, she mates on the fly as she's flying around. She's got to stay away from birds. She's got to stay away from dragonflies. She's got to stay away from hornets. She's got to stay away from car windshields. And then she's got to make her way back. And she has to find that many men, which is going to be hard because I don't think there are a lot of drones in my other hives for her to mate with. So let's take a look here at what we're dealing with. Now, once again, this is a brood frame that I just selected. I'm going to try and do this a little bit slower and a little bit better this time. Now, you can see maybe in here, it's closer, if we can get close enough. I don't think this is going to focus, but you can see little grub-like worms in there. Those are the larvae, and if you can see it, it's too big to turn into a queen. It's already on its way to becoming a worker bee. So what I'm gonna do is look for ones that I can barely see, and then I'm gonna try and scoop it. I got flashlight. I'm gonna put on my magnifying glasses, take off my regular glasses, and I'm going to look down in these cells and let's see if there's any. Okay, I see eggs. Now eggs look like a third of a grain of rice that's standing straight up, and when they lay down, that's when you want to grab them. So I am being very particular because I'm only going to do this 4 times. Okay, the light helps. They're very delicate. Okay, got one. Okay. Well, it's in there. So now it's urgent that I get this into a queenless hive so that they can get back to work on this. And also very quickly, it's critical that I get that other frame put back so these brood don't get chilled in that big frame. I'd hate to lose a whole frame of young brood because I was trying to scoop 4. All right, let's see if these can do anything. Let's see, it has been a few days since I tried grafting into this queenless hive. I'm sitting next to the queenless hive out here on the terrace, as you can see, and things didn't exactly go well. I checked the progress right away, and it looked like the 4 larvae that I put in here were really nice, and I did a good graft on them, and immediately the bees that were in the box started to pay attention to them, and I thought we were going to be in good shape. And then I checked back, and this is what I found. There was nothing there. All 4 had been abandoned, and the bees decided, we don't have anything better to do, let's make some comb. So they started, I thought that they were building a queen cell, I thought that in this one, but they were actually just building some comb over here instead. Now, I'm not gonna beat myself up about this because I knew that this was a very good possibility that this is what was gonna happen. And there's a reason for it, and it's because of the life cycle of the bees themselves. So the number of bees in this hive was being diminished, and their age was going up. Bees will move up and down that pyramid of responsibility as needed, but they don't really like to go backwards from a forager bee to doing the responsibility of a nurse bee. And it's the nurse bees that are going to constantly be feeding a queen larvae and help it develop. So in the box there were no nurse bees left, and everybody had graduated to a field bee status. So when I put those larvae in, nobody wanted to feed them, and they just didn't do it. You need thousands of bees in a grafting colony. What most people will do is they will take 4, 5, 6 really strong frames of bees and shake them in here until this box is absolutely packed, crowded with nurse bees. And then you put your grafts in, and all of those thousands and thousands of excited nurse bees see that there's just a few larvae to feed, and they all get in on the act, and they're all excited to feed those larvae and make them as strong and as healthy as possible. Well, I didn't have anybody in here who was excited or interested in feeding larvae anymore. They were all out trying to get nectar and pollen, and I knew it was a risk, and I knew it was more than likely going to fail, but I figured I had very little to lose, and I was only sacrificing 4 larvae at the most. So that's what I did. I made a decision to just give it a try and see what happens, and maybe I'd get lucky. That's my update on the grafting. It didn't work. Not, like I said, it wasn't necessarily something that I did wrong, but it was the colony, it was the cell building colony that I put them into that was not strong enough with nurse bees. And I had decided just not going to keep populating this. So this box right here is dwindling, and I'm not upset about that. I'm letting this one go. If they want to build wax, if they want to go collect pollen and nectar and put it in frames, that's fine. I'll feed it to these other bees once this box is empty. What we're doing on these hives is just a quick inspection to see how we're doing on brood production and honey stores. Now, this top box I'm a little bit excited about because there are more bees up here in the top than I have seen in a long time. And that's good news. That means they're getting crowded downstairs and they're deciding to move up. Now look at this. That is fresh wax being built, drawn out right there. There's a good handful of bees on here. This is very encouraging. The number of bees in this box is starting to explode. And when you figure queen lays about 1,000 to 1,500 eggs a day, eventually those are all going to start hatching. And this is wax that was built previously out at the farm that I cut out of the frame and put in here with rubber bands. So this is really good, and look at all the bees on it. I know it's not covered, but they are certainly paying attention to this now. They are getting ready to move up and expand. This is really cool. They're finally starting to get a little bit more crowded, and the crowded bees are gonna work fresh wax, especially since they're really young, brand new bees. They're drawing the wax on this side. You can see how white it is, and it's so, over here, it's so white. That is evidence that it is brand new. It hasn't had any dirty feet on it. Yeah, the bees' feet get dirty, and then when they walk on wax, they change the color. Okay, and over here, not much is going on this one. But those middle, they always like to work from the middle out. So for me to see that many bees on those middle frames in this top box is super duper encouraging. I'm gonna set this aside. Wow. Look at all the bees in here. This is what I've wanted to see all along. I've got 2 deep boxes here, and they are just crammed in here. And this is so heavy. Wow. Look at all that honey. Can you see? There's sealed honey at the top, and the bottom is just packed. Same thing on this side. There's almost no room in here at all. As soon as they're starting to cap the honey at the top, in the bottom, top of the frame by my right thumb over here, they're actually starting to cap that honey over. That is amazing. And again, this is real honey. I've not been feeding these bees. So this is the first honey that we are going to be harvesting. I didn't want it in deep frames, but it is what it is. Now this is still a brood frame. Looks like it's empty. There's a little bit of honey on top. Hi, Yick.
No.
Yes, they're getting nice and crowded, and there's no queen on this one. This is, I think, I don't see any eggs in this one, but this, no, that's almost empty.
Empty now?
Yeah, that's almost, but that's okay. This one here,
Wow.
all honey.
Yeah.
This is going to be our first honey crop.
Wow.
So see all the liquid honey inside?
Yeah.
And both sides, all full. So that's really good. Yeah, the more flowers, more bees, and it's so crowded in here. This one is going to be more baby bees. Yeah, there's the queen. Show her right there. I'll try and get her zoomed in. There's a lot of honey on here, but she's busy. And this down here is new wax. They chewed that away, and now they're building new. See how much closer the wax is here to the bottom? It was like this, and it was all the way up here, but this is all brand new. And the queens love new wax. So, yeah, that's great. So we've got lots of bees, and we've got lots of honey. Oh boy. This one's gonna be mixed. Yep, there's all of our larvae, baby bees in here. Full frame on both sides. Okay. Thousands more bees about to be born. It's going to get even more crowded. And this one, more honey. Wow. These cells are almost full. Yeah, and up here, see, they're starting to close those. It's starting to, right up in here, there's only a little tiny hole. They're starting to put a cap on top. And when that's capped, that means it's ready. And then we can eat it. And we got a lot of pollen in here. It'd be nice to extract that. Okay, so let's recap what we just saw in here. This is that second hive that we just finished the inspection on. We went all the way to the bottom, and we saw for the very first time since I started beekeeping here in the Philippines, I've got bees that started off in a nucleus colony and one deep all the way on the bottom. They've expanded and they've completely covered another 5-frame box of deeps in the middle, and now they're starting to expand into a third box up here. Now let's go over this layer by layer and actually digest what we were looking at and what it means. Starting at the bottom, what I saw down here was that the queen had moved up. She's laying in the middle. That left about, I think we saw 3 frames of brood and 2 frames of honey down here. Now that was emerging brood. There was no open brood down here. So that was space that is becoming available again for the queen to relay. Up in here, there was another 2 frames, maybe 3 frames of honey. That was super encouraging. And then there was another 2.5 frames of available space and freshly laid open brood. And we found the queen on here. Now up in here, there's not gobs of bees yet, but the bees are now paying attention to the wax that is existing up here. They're getting it ready. They're either going to, they're going to use it as honey storage, or they're expecting the queen to move upstairs once again and start laying that fresh wax with new brood, new larvae and eggs and larvae. So the next time I come in here, I wouldn't be surprised to see brood in this top box. And I would expect probably to see another 3 frames of laid up larvae in here. This bottom box has pretty much turned into honey storage. As the brood is emerging, the bees are very quickly, the forager bees that are going out the front door, they're very quickly coming back in here and they're refilling those empty cells with honey. But we saw that some of the honey was starting to get capped. That means they've been fanning their wings and dehydrating that nectar. Nectar is about 90% water. And the bees will come in, go mouth to mouth until that nectar goes into a cell. Once they start filling it, they vibrate their wings over it, dehydrate it, and it's like maple syrup. It starts off very watery and then it condenses. As it becomes dehydrated, the sugar content goes up and the water content goes down. When they get that water content down below 18% water, then that is considered honey. So I have to monitor the water percentage in here. And so that is awesome news. That's why I'm here. That's what I wanted to see. This is working. And these bees have only been here since late February, the last couple of days of February, so a little over a month, and they have already put away at least 20 pounds of honey in here, and they're not done yet. So this is really, really good news, and I would expect within the next week to 2 weeks to see even more of that dehydrated and capped over, and then we're just going to see this continuously progress, where they're taking that dehydrated nectar, turning it into honey, capping it, and making it ready for us to consume and to harvest. So coming up, probably in another month, we are going to have we should have a harvest video. And this is going really well, as long as nothing happens to the queen. God, please nothing happen to this queen. I love this queen. She's amazing. As long as she keeps laying eggs, if we can actually get them to build out some of this wax and start using it, and I don't care if they want to use it for brood or if they want to store honey in it, I'll take whatever I can get. I'm just looking for a win. I'm happy today. This looks like a win to me, and we still have one more hive to go through. We'll basically do the same thing. But over there, I did something weird. I'd noticed last week that they hadn't moved up, and I was trying to do something different, a little bit different over there than I was doing over here, to see what worked and to see if I needed to go the extra mile to make things happen. These are doing exactly what I wanted them to do. Those probably would have been doing the exact same thing as this, but I took a deep frame, I removed a medium frame from the top box, made a space, and I hung a deep frame in here. And I know they're making more wild comb in the bottom box underneath that deep frame. We'll see that over here. I'm like, hey, they want to build some wax, let them build it wherever they want. I can always cut it off and use some rubber bands and put it back into a medium frame. It works, and they seem to do it much quicker than drawing out the foundations. So if they want to draw natural wax instead of drawing on foundation, I don't care. Wax is wax, comb is comb. I can manipulate it and put it wherever I want later. So let's turn our attention to the last hive over here and see if they are doing the same thing. See if they've got honey over there coming through. Once again, drop the glasses down, put the veil on. The population is going up when you got a lot of bees. You never know, some of them could be older and a little bit grumpy. Most of the time, I don't find it necessary to take much in the way of precaution, but you never know. You know, we're gonna see bees up here because there's a deep frame up here that has extra wax. again, they are paying a little bit of attention to these outside frames, and these are a little bit more drawn out, and there's fresh wax on here. When they stick together, they're making wax. And they are. That's fresh wax right there. It's all nice and white. This mango tree over here is bugging me. This is the deep one. And nothing much going on there. Oops. Wow. Okay. They're sticking together. They're festooning. It means they are trying to build a little bit of wax here and there. Let's see. How much have they done in here? Holy moly. That's quite a bit. Now this is all honey on top, on both sides. It's very soft clean. And I do not want to mess that up. It's very exciting to get to see that. Oh, and the queen is on it right there on the bottom. I told you the queens love fresh wax. Did you see her? You just move to this side. There she is. Queens love fresh wax. All right, well, this inspection is over because they are building wax. The queen is on there. I'm being as careful as I possibly can not to damage her when she goes back down. So we're just going to assume that the rest of this is going like the other one, where they are putting away honey, storing nectar, turning it into honey, getting it dehydrated. And I would assume, we saw the queen, she's fine, and there's probably several frames of brood in there. So that was pretty exciting. I like to see that. And so now we wait again. I'll wait another week or so and go through there. They should be done with that wax by then, and I'm sure it's going to have a lot of brood on it, and I'm going to have to cut it off and put it into a medium frame, and we'll be in good shape. So that'll be another drawn frame. I'll move that into the medium box on top, do a little manipulation. We'll be moving forward. So guys, this is, like I said, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. We're seeing honey, we're seeing the population boom. We are just seeing a lot of good signs right now. And this is why I'm here. And this is proof that this works. And all of the discouraged feelings that I was having before, questioning myself, it's starting to go down. This is now, I need to get some new queens. I need to split these after I get a honey harvest, and make sure that these bees are nice and strong. What I'll do is I'll make splits. I'll order some queens, and when those hives get a little bit stronger, they'll come here, and I'll be able to take these hives back to the farm and give them more room to forage, and see if they can make honey any quicker out there where there's more plants. So keep praying and keep sending those positive comments. I really appreciate it. If you haven't hit like yet, please do. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do, because the channel is growing a little bit, and I really appreciate that. I'm so thrilled to have you guys watching and following along and encouraging me to keep going, and it's very touching. I really appreciate it. Every one of the comments, I try and answer every one, and I can breathe. I feel like I can breathe now. So, and remember, I'm Brent. This is Beekeeping in Paradise. Remember, wherever you are in the world, wherever you've got your bees, you are definitely beekeeping in paradise. Be well, be safe, be kind. God bless. I love y'all.